you win the prize.
It's supposed to be here.
Maybe I don't want to win.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Live from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Podcasting around the world. You're listening to the GloucesterCast podcast, a production of Joey Shimataro and Good Morning Gloucester Media. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the show with your host, Joey Shimataro, and his crew of merry castaways. No piping plovers will be intentionally harmed in the production of this podcast.
Good morning, Gloucester. How did you like that intro?
I was caught off guard.
Scrolling through our phones, I had no idea. A little bit of heads up.
Seamless.
That
I really dislike the new user interface.
I don't like it either. I can't see what I need to see.
Wait, who the hell is that?
Oh wow, they're back! Pat's back!
Back from the North Pole.
Pat and Jimmy got laid off.
Yeah,
from our competitor.
Yeah, well, what's his name? Corey was very not happy. Not happy at all. All the reports we got. So then they bounced over for 1623 Studios for 1 or 2 episodes, and Heather Atwood was not going to share the limelight with Pat and Jimmy. She's like, absolutely not. So now they're back under the nest. You're in the love nest.
You always find your way back home. That's the way you tell your family.
I love that Jimmy and Pat always bring the festive. They're always dressed appropriately. If they're at the Bluefin Blowout, they have the Bluefin Blowout apparel on.
Yep.
It's Christmas time. They get the Christmas apparel on. Jimmy's here. Shoot over to Pat for a second. Pat's back. Camera's looking good today, too. Really good. And then we have...
Nice to see Pat, Jimmy, and Nicole. What about Joey and Chris?
Chris Lakanakanak. Kopolis is with us.
Because you were here last week.
Yeah, and Nicole Schraft is with us.
Dude.
Can we focus for a minute? I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but Jimmy, it looks like your mustache is like freshly trimmed. It's very well groomed.
It's not as unruly as it usually is.
It was under the contract for 1623.
He didn't care when he came.
It was like the Yankees; they have to have very carefully cropped facial hair.
That's right. There's a little bit of now that you stare at it, there's that little bit of lip below the mustache.
We never even knew Jimmy
Pat
had lips.
It was bothering Pat.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie.
She was getting chafed.
In my head, I was like,
the love brush.
I was going forward to what you were going to say.
I can hit the high note now.
Well, Pat can hit the high note.
Oh, my word.
And we're back.
It wouldn't be the same without some inappropriate humor.
We're back.
Good morning to the Spanks, the couple from the highest STD rate community in the United States, which is the Villages. Jamie Lagakanopoulos is with us. Phil and Lynn Scannell are with us. Carol Lupian, Joey Foote. Nice to see Joey with us.
Yeah, Joey had shoulder surgery, and he's back and doing stuff. Hope you're doing well, Joey.
He's doing really well with his sobriety. Kathy Barlow's with us. Drew Hale. Jimmy!
Hey, Drew.
Drew said he was going to California
He's
today.
in the plane live streaming.
Oh.
My beautiful wife, Kate, is with us. Camille DePesa is with us from the Sunshine State of Naples, Florida. Not the highest STD rate in the world.
And what's the temperature down there?
They're not warm today. I think they're in the 50s because New Orleans was 35 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Warmer than here. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is how I feel. You know how people say, so if I go to Florida and it's in the 50s, I may as well not be there. I'd rather be here and it be 10 degrees and have the fireplace going than being Naples at 55 degrees because I'll be irritated that I want to be in shorts.
It's like weather purgatory. You're like cold and warm.
Yeah, not good. Another big thing that I don't like, I hate it when I go to Florida and I'm in a restaurant and they have the air conditioning on 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Because you wear shorts and t-shirt everywhere, even a light sweater, but you're still fucking freezing, and that's when you get sick.
Look, we're getting some temperature
Getting some
reports.
temperature readings.
Kathy Barlow, upstate New York, might as well be the Midwest, 7 degrees.
1.8 degrees in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. That's a very accurate thermometer,
is.
Pam. That's
On point.
Uh,
On
Yikes.
point, Pan. Hillsborough.
Did she take a thermometer and put it outside? What?
Pat McNally's with us. Michael Ancevic is with us.
Buenos dias.
Laurel Elizabeth St. Clair is with us from St. Pete.
where the real feel is 45.
Ugh, I would be aggravated. Mike Rogers is with us. 54 degrees going in the 70s. You know what, though? That 70 degrees, when you get that, like when you wake up in Florida and it's 55 and they say the high, it's going to be 70 at some point. It hits 70 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for 10 seconds, and then it just goes right back down.
So the Rogers are at as we can see, Mike Rogers, 49 degrees at the Magic Kingdom. I'd rather be in 10 degrees than in the Magic Kingdom in 80 degrees.
I don't know.
It's just not
You
for
don't like
me.
it there?
I don't
I
think
like
I
it,
don't.
yeah.
But you know what? I haven't been since I was young.
No, I think it's
Let's go.
actually,
We're
it can be
gonna-
fun.
Gonna
I
be
think it can be
fun?
fun.
All right.
I think it can be fun if you're not there during school vacation, when it's not like lines for everything.
Have you ever done a live broadcast from the Magic Kingdom? Maybe
No,
that could be on.
yeah.
Lots
okay.
of timeshare weeks saved
Bill
up. We
Minton
could
is with
definitely go.
us.
So anybody repeat after me. I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I know they're all saying that right now.
We're gonna get canceled right now because it's not appropriate nowadays. We got that. That was one of the cancel songs. Even though Chris, one of the biggest liberals in the room, sang it at his Christmas show.
One of the 5 of us.
Huh?
You said one of the biggest liberals in the room. There's only 5 of us.
Well, he
It's
is
not
known
hard
that,
to-
he wears it on his sleeve.
It's it on his sleeve.
We
Which
had
is not a
talked about
bad
that
thing.
last night, but we're not going to
There's
bring
a
that
good
up.
chance
This-
you're outnumbered in this room right now.
No, I'm 100% out. I'm definitely outnumbered in this room, which is fine. But see, we're a tolerant bunch
Yeah.
because I can hang out with Chris and appreciate Chris for the person that he is, and not think he's a complete asshole because we have on some things we differ. Because there's
Right.
some things we completely
Which
agree
is
on.
the way it's
Because we're
supposed to
humans.
be.
We're
Right.
adults. We're adults. Disney is horrible, Drew Hale says.
I feel like Drew's my brother.
Mother from another brother. Yeah. There's that. We have a great patch. We're going to have Bugzilla on at the 9:45 mark to talk about adventures in pest control, which should be. So I have some interesting questions
Who
for
doesn't
him.
want that?
Yeah,
That's
this is
that's a children's book in the making.
It is too. We had one thing we always like to talk about restaurant news. In case you didn't hear, because we broke this news earlier in the week for the public. The old Halibut Point building restaurant is going to be nicknamed The Burn and is looking to open mid-January with Manny, who's the old chef for like a decade at the Azorian. He was at the Lobster. Now the Lobster is going to close mid-January, and they're going to open up The Burn in the old Halibut Point.
Now, someone, despite your news last week about cigar sanctions, mentioned to me like really quickly in passing, and I didn't really catch it until later on. I went back and was like, wait, but that it was going to be cigars, but that's not true.
No.
They're just because in Portsmouth, right? That place is called.
No, that's Burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a slow burn
Right.
cigar lounge, and it's in the basement. It's a
place.
speakeasy. Yeah,
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
great
Been
place.
fantastic.
Drew just put in an order for a hat.
there.
He-
What about some
what?
flip flops?
No, it's a vibe. Clearly,
Ah.
he's asking for the new
It
hat.
is a vibe. It is.
He's
a vibe.
asking for the new hat.
Please wait. Ask for a new hat. By the way, I want to share with you Pat and Jimmy's very generous and thoughtful Christmas gift. I got to take this off. I got Thirsty Seagull flip flops for Aruba. They got the brand copyrighted. I'm gonna have she's gonna be sued later, but she got me a nice gift. Cease and desist is coming, and this is for Kate, the Irish woman. Thirsty Seagull flip
Very
flops, and the other one right there.
I like the green, Pat.
You like the green, right?
Yeah.
Nice. If I was going to be home for the polar plunge, I would use those for the polar plunge. But alas, I'm going to do like a Conan. Who used to do this? Conan O'Brien used to throw the note cards at the. Oh, was that
Jimmy
Letterman?
Fallon.
Jim Fallon.
David Letterman.
David Letterman.
David
It was
Letterman
Letterman.
would throw it at the city. He would flick it at the city.
Yeah. There you go. That's our show notes. We don't have note cards. We have full things. The Cut is closing down only their restaurant portion, January 1st. Very disappointing.
For restaurants, I saw Vinny Orlando this week.
Yeah.
And Vinny announced to us that I believe I think it's, I don't think it's Tuesday. It's going to be Monday. He's hopefully going through the last phase of the inspections. And if that's the case, and he doesn't expect any problems or anything else, we're talking Friday.
Oh,
He
wow.
says Friday.
There's always problems.
Could be.
The thing about it with these things, there's always problems. We're gonna hope that there's not problems. But here's a sneak peek. Who's responsible for gathering this menu?
Jim.
Jimmy, good job. This is a sneak peek at the menu for the Fishtails Pub, correct?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Let's go through it. Baked French onion soup. Oh, we got another one to review.
With the ingredients listed. You don't usually.
Rich beef broth, caramelized onion,
Who's rich?
crouton, and Gruyere. New England clam chowder, mixed greens, house cob salad. Okay, those are the salads. All right, we'll go over here. Fish and chips.
They're just salads. Give it a
salad. Who gives a fuck about salad? Fish and chips. Local haddock, shoestring fries, coleslaw. That's a classic. Bourbon marinated steak tips. I bet you they do a good job on those. I like this menu. Grilled baby back ribs, half a full. Pappardelle alla bolognese pasta. Ipswich whole belly clams. This is a fantastic menu. This is
a little
like
bit of everything, right?
little bit of everything and all the staples. I like it. I like it.
Nobody really
there's
no restaurants anymore with just like the staples.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be fancy.
Everybody's trying to go outside. Yeah, this is exactly. I think among our friend group, we've been talking about this for like a couple of years. Every new restaurant that's been opening up, they're trying to be, fucking Chez Maison Robert, whatever. This is very refreshing. I like it. I like it a lot.
We were talking about this last night, Jamie, Nicole and I. So I'm still holding out hope with the Cut. So they are closing the restaurant, but they're looking for potentially somebody else to come in and run the restaurant. The venue has been doing well. The restaurant's been struggling, which it's just tough business. But like we were just saying, I have this feeling that if the Cut went with something like the menu that Vinny's doing, they've got all those amazing TVs in there. Nobody's necessarily looking to go to a show and have a crazy dinner. Make that like a sports bar. You've got that entertainment area downstairs for the kids. Like, make it a more approachable menu. I bet they could do. I mean, I don't know anything about the restaurant business either. This is my hypothesis.
Well, I gotta tell you, I think they came out of the gate and they had a little bit of a rough thing with this, with the service and the food, getting it down right out the gate. And then I think the food, I've been going there at least once a week, and they have this burger on there. I forget the guy's name. Anyway, it's named after somebody. It's got like a steak au poivre sauce on it, and the fries are fantastic. The food, at some point, well, I guess it doesn't matter now because it's going to be closing in a week. But the food actually really came on strong the last month or so with the Chef Justice. And again, I hope what they figure it out, because that space is too beautiful. They did too nice of a job building that out to let that go by the wayside.
Yeah, we went to, I always go back to hockey team dinners. Well, first of all, they had a hockey team dinner there last week, and Finn said it was great. So thank you to them for doing that. But, we used to always go to the marina, to the pool, and spend a ton of money for the kids to get together after games. But then we would go to the brewery for a long time, and the kids could,
They had the
run
foosball
around. They
and
could play the ring game. We would sit there and have a couple of drinks, and everyone would eat, and the meals were reasonable and short menu and something for everyone. And the same thing, like that place could potentially be packed if the menu was right and the price point was right, and they kind of pitch it. And again, I know nothing about the restaurant business,
I
but
agree with you 100%.
I kept on meaning to tell Thatcher and his age group, because they go to Harbor 9 sometimes, but things can get pricey if you add the golf and whatever. But to get a bunch of kids to go shoot pool and have a couple Cokes and a hamburger and French fries, they would hang out there for sure if it was affordable for them. And so there are ways, I think, to really get a crowd in there for sure.
I agree with you.
And I'm guilty of not spending enough time there. I've been to maybe 5 shows, but I
I haven't been
I
to a
hadn't
show
made
there.
time to
You've never been to
go
one.
just to eat.
I haven't been because I'm this time of year.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like last night, I went to bed at 7. I was exhausted. I went to bed at 7.
Wow. That's,
I mean,
early.
that's wild, right? But I'm a week away from getting my life back.
You can see like
The
you
twin
can
color.
see
Coming
that
back
like
in.
the little bit of sunshine coming out of his pupils. He's smiling a little bit
A
more.
little bit more, right? Pour a killer drink with a smile and a conversation equals win, says Drew Hale. We say it all the time.
Captain Cocktail would know.
We say it all the time. There's that. Speaking of drinking,
Really?
Holidays.
Go ahead, Pat.
Ohio. Do we have a graphic on this, Pat? Ohio Funeral Home
Yeah, I think so.
is the first to apply for a liquor license, which at first thought to me, a funeral, like I always, like when my dad passed, we had like that first day we had at my sister's house, we had a party and everybody bought, he drank, he didn't drink a lot, but when he was younger, he drank wild turkey and everybody bought a jug of wild turkey. We got destroyed and we all told great stories about
It
my
was
dad.
fun. I was there.
And it was
fun,
amazing.
yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. So my first thought when I heard that this funeral home was the first funeral home to apply for a liquor license. So we don't have the graphic, Pat?
No, I guess we don't. I'm sorry. I thought it was in there.
Okay. But my first thought was that what a great idea. But then I was thinking, at that time, a lot of times there's like a lot of jealousy, animosity. This person took care of the elder person while maybe the other one had a lot of commitments with their work commitments, and the other one was retired and they could take care of their elderly parents. And then you add the drinking element into it, and then you add everybody's hyper emotional.
Yep.
I could see fist fights on a weekly basis.
That could
Like
be,
1 out of 7 things to be like a total fucking scene, because there's people, listen, let's face it, like there's people with drinking problems.
Yeah.
And then add on to get over the grief, they're just getting destroyed. And then putting a bartender in a position to have to shut someone off that's already like
At the funeral home.
at the funeral home.
I got shut off at the funeral home.
What could go wrong? Right?
If this funeral home was smart, what they do, if they get this liquor license, they bring in a production crew, they put cameras everywhere, and they film a reality show. Everyone signs a waiver going in for every funeral. You could get some really good content.
People going to funerals with people they don't even know.
Yeah,
just
right.
like
Showing up.
looking at the
Open bar.
Right?
Oh, I heard Billy's having an open bar
I
for
haven't
his
seen him since college.
So the greeters that would open the door and take your coat and everything else, now they're going to send there a tray with shots
Yeah.
and just walk up.
What could go wrong? Oh, just honestly, it's like what could go wrong,
We
right?
call that a sip and cry, I guess. I don't know.
Our remaining holiday store hours today and tomorrow from 11 to 3, and then taking a break at the shop until mid-January at our Pat and I's 44 Main Street. Pat D's Puffin Palace Emporium, and Joey's, shop
we
full
want
of
to give the staff
stuff.
a well-deserved break.
The staff meaning Pat.
I actually mean Jim.
How was
And Jim.
how was your holiday
Back to
staff
a Jimmy.
party?
The holiday staff party was great.
Was it? Yeah.
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 It was me playing with the fart machine.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I saw a funny meme that said the thing I hate most about company holiday parties is having to find another job the next day.
Drew Hale says, "Who's the woman on the right in the screen?
Right? I know.
Wearing the
Let me
merch.
tell you a little bit about myself.
Repping the merch.
Yeah, I love the set.
Repping the merch. Do you not have a picture? Do you not have the picture of Donna Rogers in there? I'm gonna
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. All right, this is the next topic. All right, this is. Do you have all the? Do you have all the things? Oh, you don't have the things.
Pat,
Which
Pat's on a
things?
slow entry.
Oh man, all right, I gotta go back into the show notes, I guess.
Oh,
All right.
oh, she printed it.
Yeah, she did it
Before
without this.
you had-
No, this was earlier in the week, so she just didn't want me talking about it. So this is clearly Pat not wanting me to talk about this topic. So I'm going to bring it up. So here we have our friend Donna Rogers, hold on one
I
second.
have it right here. Do you want it?
Yes, thank you very much.
This and then her responses to you.
Thank you so much. So where'd the picture go? Pat took
You
it
did.
down.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay, so here's Donna. I ran into Donna Rogers. I was shipping out some orders from the shop. I run into Donna Rogers, and what you see here is
Donna Rogers.
Donna Rogers. But what you see just behind her is a box, clearly Shutterfly, with her no Christmas cards, right? And she said she had over 100 Christmas cards, and she was licking the stamps and putting the stamps on there, which led me to think early on in the blog, we had, contributors sometimes come and go. Nicole's been one of the longer, Pat and Jimmy have been one of the longer contributors that have been part of the blog. But there had been times where people would say, I just can't come up with a blog post. I don't know what to come up with a blog post. So when I walked in and I saw Donna, immediately in my head, I'm like, okay, within 5 seconds, I'm like, how many different blog posts can I come up with just this picture? So here it is. First blog post, Donna rocking the Thirsty Seagull beanie cap. I'm thinking merch, right? Okay, then that's one post, right? Then Donna tells me she spent $400 on 100 Christmas cards. And so then I'm thinking that, which led me to, how could you buy these stock Christmas cards for $4 when you could have bought one of Pat Dalpiaz's cards for $3.50 with a local scene on it? I mean, and after I've talked about it incessantly I talk about it every single time, that like, how could you do this, right? So then I said, and then she told me, oh my, she goes, I have 100 Christmas cards, and a stamp nowadays costs 76 cents. I didn't realize a stamp costs 76 cents.
Why would you know?
It cost me $10 to ship a hoodie. I only charge $6 for shipping, but so I lose money on every hoodie that I ship. So that's another topic.
Why is Donna licking her own stamps?
No,
The kids
not
weren't
like-
Mike, don't you have
okay.
staff for that?
Yeah.
The kids weren't
Right.
home.
Don't you
then-
have a stamp liquor on staff?
And then my last topic was, what is the chance that Donna's Christmas
Mom's
cards
here.
have a puffin?
Ho, Merry Christmas.
Oh, look who showed up!
This is like, we haven't seen you in so long.
I gotta go close that door.
Don't do it. You sit. No, I got it. I got
Just
it.
put the-
Hey, Pat.
I brought you
propane
donuts.
tank.
Oh, that's
So then
amazing.
push that open. Okay. All right,
How
thank
are you? Want to sit down? You gonna join? I'll
Hi,
grab
Mom. I
Ma's
gotta close
here.
that door. I gotta close that door. Mom's here.
Joey, the one outside.
Here, I'll put these over here. You
So
take my
head
seat.
that
No,
to the
no, I'm
door.
gonna sit right
Thank
here.
you.
I don't know if you'll be
Ma's
able to
here.
go over.
So here we go.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you, Mom.
So wait, I gotta go to where is the Dawn? So Donna has the response to these things.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
Donna says, yes, I'm wearing the beanie. She was wearing the beanie without having to be instructed to wear the beanie. And
This is the best hat.
she didn't know that she would be seeing me and getting bonus points for wearing the beanie. And it wasn't 100 cards, it was 150 cards. She said, oh, I don't want to say this out loud, but I guess this is her words, not mine, so I won't get in trouble. U.S. Postal Service is the worst run agency. I didn't say that. Donna said that. So she's in trouble when she wants to ship stuff and it gets lost. One of the topics was, because she sent out 100 Christmas cards, if you know Donna and you didn't get one, you should question your friendship status with Donna Rogers, because she sends out so many. And then the last topic, what is the chance that Donna's Christmas cards have a puffin on it? And 0 chance that there's a puffin on it. So there's
I'd
that
like to
topic.
say Donna looks great.
Donna
by
looks,
the way.
look how well
Donna came to the,
she's put together. Nice smile. She got everything going.
She came to the Beauport. We went to the Jingle Bar at the Beauport on Wednesday night.
So fun.
And they came. It's so fun. We should talk about that for a minute. But she came in green sweater. She looked like $1 million.
$1 million.
No,
She's
for
always
real. Yeah,
when
she
she gets
looked great.
dolled up, watch out.
Yep.
So Ma, we have a special request. My mom just showed up.
Can I
and-
just, before I'm going to interject,
Yeah.
see this hat that you gave me?
Yep.
Best hat ever. It
So
keeps
warm.
me so warm. I love it.
I've said it
Just
ad
saying.
nauseum as if I'm like not telling the truth. It is like,
Oh.
I swear it raises your body temperature
It really
15
does.
degrees. We are completely sold out of them,
Oh, okay.
which is a good thing.
I can't go.
But I'm going to break news right here. I ordered just 35 pink, and this is based on Pat. This is totally Pat's idea. Pat gave me the idea. All credit where credit is due. 35 pink and 35 red for Valentine's Day. They should be
Oh,
in
perfect.
mid-January. So you can't
I have
if you love your wife or your daughters, then if you don't love them, don't buy it. And then we'll know that you don't love your family members.
Everyone not walking around in a pink hat has
Hates their
nobody
family.
who has nobody who loves them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
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 a good point.
Right?
that's
So-
exactly right. There's that.
You have a request.
So Donna is on.
So we also have a request before we go any further. Lisa Tilsey Frontero says, please have Ma tell a dirty joke.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
my mother's known for her dirty jokes.
Oh, no.
especially during the holidays.
Yes.
Nothing says
Yes.
Christmas like
Nothing
Pat
says
dirty
like a
joke.
dirty
nothing
joke.
says Sunday
Ma,
morning
do
coming
the,
from
do the
church.
in with the thing and out with the thing.
Get the-
All right, here we go. This is
All right.
Is that in-
Ma has-
is that
I
in
just
your
came
Oh,
from
sorry.
church, mind you. Okay. All right. There was this elderly couple, 96 years old. The husband says to the wife, you know, dear, we haven't had sex forever. She goes, I know. He goes, well, I think we should have sex. And she said, all right. And she goes, when? He goes, I think Sunday would be a good day. She says, why are you picking Sunday? Well, because I think at our age, using the rhythm of the church bells would help us. In with the ding and out with the dong. So she said, okay, so Sunday comes, they're having sex, in with the ding and out with the dong, right? All of a sudden, he has a massive heart attack. The granddaughter's in town, gets wind that her grandfather died. She runs to her grandmother's house. Grandma, what happened to Grandpa? And she says, well, dear, your grandfather decided that we should have sex. She says, Grandma, really, 96 years old, do you think that was such a good idea? She goes, well, everything was going really good because, you know, he wanted it on Sunday so we could use the rhythm of the church bells in with the ding and out with the dong. But then that damn ice cream truck came by. Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
there you go. That's bad. Listen,
Okay.
you could go to the
Thank you,
bridge.
Lisa.
You could go to the bridge. You could go to 1623 Studios. I guarantee you're not going to get the in with the thing and out with the dong. I'm just saying.
from Joey's mom.
From my mom.
Yeah, no.
That's why we
Well,
love.
when I come again, I have more. That's
Oh,
okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What happened?
We lost camera?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I canceled because
There we are.
There we
There
are.
you go.
Yep, we can't. Yeah, we got cancel cultured out because of Pat's dirty joke.
Jimmy's see Donna's not on the button today, so we might have a problem. Lisa tells he love her.
Love you
Annie
too,
Roshan
Lisa.
wants to know if you missed church this morning.
No, I just came from church.
just came from church.
8:15 Mass every
Yeah, so
Sunday.
there's that. Peter Tarantino laughing out loud. We have that going for us.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I've tried to send a Christmas card to Carlo Masseri, asked his daughter online for his address. I don't know if he's in Florida or here, but Merry Christmas. I still have the card that doesn't have a stamp on it, Carlo, for you and Mary.
Usually Carlo's watching, but I don't know if he's watching
Anyway,
today.
That's the story with that.
Well, maybe he'll chime in if he's watching.
You have to
He's
do,
usually one of our regulars.
Yeah,
share
he
it.
is.
Oh, we have. Well, by the way, we do have podcast prizes today. We're going to go to Pat. These are donated by Joe's.
Choose them both. Two.
No, one.
One.
Pair.
Yep.
Joe Higgins donated these placemats from. That's upset. That's okay though. You get the
Dead
idea.
fish.
That one's dead, yeah.
We have a codfish. No, they're both stripers. We have both stripers.
I
One
don't know.
is like he has codfish colors on a striper on one of them, and then the regular.
You think the bottom one isn't the bottom one is
No, they're both stripers, but he has the colors kind of
interesting.
like
They're
that's
very
a
nice
that's a really
placemats.
rotten striper. The one in the brown is the really rotten striper.
They're very nice placemats.
Somebody smacked
Very
the stripes off
sturdy
Oh, they're placed.
So if you
placemat.
if you share the podcast on Facebook or wherever you're watching it and type shared, and we'll see it on the screen, and we'll enter you and you can pick it up at the shop.
Mhm.
Joe
today, tomorrow.
has really great social media. If you haven't gone on to his Facebook and his Instagram, he's doing like giveaways, and he's fun to watch for sure. I actually tried to enter a couple.
Well, the
things
shares
so
are coming in.
He's fun to watch. You
He
should
is.
follow him for sure.
Joe Higgins,
And his shops are beautiful.
low key, funny guy.
Yeah.
You think if you just ran into Joe, you just think he's stoned all the time, but he's low key, one of the funniest guys. Good morning, Mary Air. Good morning, Jackie LaFlamme. Paula Ryan O'Brien, Steve Conti's with us. Nice to see
Hi,
Steve
Steve.
with us. Tina Greel from Naples, Annie Rochon, Jack Pike, Lisa Tilsey, we already mentioned, Wayne with the sexy famous mailman, Mike Rogers, Jeff Martin. Oh, Jeff Martin, the cushion guy. If you need your cushions, listen, I say this every time I see Jeff Martin's name. If you need your cushions done on your boat, I'm looking directly at the camera. Don't be the asshole that contacts the cushion guy fucking June 15th when you put your boat in the water expecting your cushions to be done. Now is the time to get your boat cushions, bring them to Martin Canvas over in East Gloucester Square. And over the winter, they'll be done. And when your boat's ready to go in the water, your cushions will be done. Don't think when everybody uncovers their boat and everybody sees the rips and thinks that, no, now's the good time to get my cushions repaired. Now is the time to contact Jeff Martin and get your marine canvas stuff done. Right?
Yep,
There you go.
absolutely.
Right? Is that good idea?
Yeah, Michael Ansevic's on it. We were talking about that the other night. He's already, I think Jeff is working on his right now.
There you go.
So a little scandal has a little plug they want to put out.
Oh, speaking of Stone, 10% off at Reverie if you're over 65 years old. I don't know if that's true or if he's just joking around, but that's real money. Maddie Air replying to Laurel, Marblehead, Mass. I don't know what that's about. And good morning to Bev Lowe, who just shared the podcast. We love it when people share the podcast.
Drew wonders where the shop is.
Oh, he needs the address. Drew, it's 44 Main Street in Gloucester.
MAIN Street, Gloucester, Massachusetts, 44.
We accept all cocktails.
I think this is an interesting thing for this time of year. This is Nicole's topic. Florida Publix grocery stores. What's happening at this particular place?
They have a boat ramp now. You pull up by boat dock and run in and get all of your grocery needs at the Publix.
Let's see. There it is.
Check that out.
How cool is that?
Like you need another reason to move to Florida.
Oh, I know.
What a smart idea.
Right?
That's a good idea.
Where-
Another reason why all
Where
the
in
people
Florida is that?
South Florida.
Publix, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's
Right, Fort Lauderdale.
yeah, probably.
Probably on the East Coast.
Yeah, because it's like high rise, and they don't have too many high rise stuff on the West Coast. So I bet you that's Fort Lauderdale or
Wow,
somewhere
that's
around there.
amazing.
Hollywood. Phil Scannell
In
comes
Hollywood.
in. Hollywood. There you
Okay.
go.
Scandals have the answers today.
Boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom. That's a cool idea.
Right?
See, Gloucester, our boating season is so short that like we always during boating season we always come up with all these ideas what we should have here based around boating, and the season is so short, which is why Mile Market it's so brilliant how they extend their season for dining with those igloos,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's
And the new igloos in particular
They're really
are fantastic.
sexy. They're sexy.
Sexy
igloos.
time. So I spoke with Pam.
Parsons?
Pam Parsons, and because Tobin had reached out and said she'd love us to come and do a podcast over there, and I said, I can't plan, and they need a couple days notice. I said this time of year I can't while I'm still in my lobster season, but when I get back from Aruba that week,
Go.
we're gonna go. We're gonna do one.
Yeah, I've only been over there once, but we had a great time.
They have,
I
they
wanna
have
go
a
with
big
my-
one too. Like they have the
Oh,
regular size ones, and then they have a big one that has like 3 or 4 cocktail like tables, and then a couple of low seating areas and a little like event bar. So it's not just the little like dining igloos. They're really cool.
I want to go at night, and I don't want to try to live stream from there because the Wi-Fi is always wonky. I want to do it. I want to tape it there and upload it for the next day, because that way we'll ensure that we have a really good image for our viewers. Nothing worse than taping a whole hour-long segment and it being choppy.
Other than taping a whole hour-long segment with cocktails and then finding out you forgot to press the record button. That's happened a
Oh
couple times.
no!
That's happened.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Me and
for sure.
Nicole early on, but that was audio. That was when the podcast
Audio
was just
only.
audio at the Rum Line.
I
Wow.
did
That
that
was-
happened twice.
Probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Did you talk
Good
about
45
the
minutes in.
Castaways, fashion show? Did you talk
No, we haven't spoken about that. I mean, I don't know how you even describe how. I didn't even put any pictures up because of like I feel like they're not NSFW.
Yeah.
The Castaways part. Everything like beyond there's a number of young women in town that are like girl bosses. Bianca, like near or at the top of that list of doers, like just has great ideas, events, shops, cafes, everything they do over the top and super successful. That night was
It was fabulous.
yeah.
It was packed, and all the runway. They did a great job. All the fashion. I call them fashionistas. They were great.
Yeah.
And not because they're my granddaughters. Eloise and Madeline did a superb job.
No, of
Just
course
saying.
not. They did. They actually
They
did.
really did.
They
were
actually did
fun.
do a good
They were
job.
fun.
What with Bianca, she not only planned it and everything, but she got it going. I mean, she followed through with it. She picked the right people to go and not only work the door, but sell the merch, then show off the merch, the walkers,
Yeah.
you know.
The DJ was awesome too.
And the DJ was a great thing, kept it going.
When I walked in, when you pay for your ticket or whatever, those girls were so sweet and
Yeah.
so helpful.
It was Cash. I forget the other girl's name. Cash Carrigan. Cash
Yeah,
Carrigan.
they were so sweet with me. They really.
They did a great job. Drew says, I can't see the women on the right again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took care. Move
Hi,
in.
Drew.
No, they're just joking around. So I want to show off a little something. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, we'll get back to our drinking topics because we seem to have a theme. Massachusetts became the first state to ban happy hour 40 years ago today. Massachusetts lawmakers decided not to bring back happy hour to the Commonwealth this year after your favorite Massachusetts restaurant spoke out against the legislation.
Oh wow, I didn't know that
Came from because we talked about this probably about 6 months ago that it was coming up and through the legislature, and we talked about, and then I spoke to a couple of restaurateurs who had echoed these sentiments, who said that they really weren't psyched about doing this. Bugzilla, hey, come on in, buddy.
But stay in your friggin' lane. If they bring back happy hour just because you don't want to have it at your restaurant, you don't have to have it at your
But
restaurant.
they feeling like they have to. Hey, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Nice to
Thanks-
see you.
thanks
Come
for
on.
the
Oh my
invite.
God, your hands are
Fine.
freezing. It's cold
Yeah, I
out.
noticed.
Here's the savior, by the way. This is Ivan Bugzilla, and he's rescued us on several occasions now.
That's right. Oh, excuse me.
Don't worry about that.
Uh,
Cameras
uh,
are
Cameras.
There we
Oh
are.
Jesus, we almost lost the whole feed. We almost lost the whole feed.
All right, gotcha.
We have a bunch of questions for you.
Sure.
So watch it. The name of your business,
Is Bugzilla Eco Pest Control?
the eco part. So
Yeah.
the eco part must mean that you're friendly. I need you to turn in
Okay, sure.
so you can be on the screen.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Hi there.
And how long have you been in the pest control game?
In the pest control game for about 12. This is my 12th year.
12th year.
Yeah.
So we had a hornet problem, I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Came out, instantly solved the problem. Now we have this. We didn't know what it was. I was downstairs in the basement and I heard and it didn't sound like it was.
Right.
It didn't sound like it was like a light thing. I figured it was a squirrel.
Had some girth.
Kate
to
was
it.
like, "Oh, it might be a bird." I'm like, "That's not a bird. That's something loud." Call you. Well, actually, I put it out on the interweb. Like, who do I call to get rid of this thing? Like, immediately, boom, 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 boom. Bugzilla.
Oh,
Everybody.
That's flattering.
Your reputation is outstanding,
Yeah.
and I didn't think of you for the pest. I thought of you for more about bugs, is like bugs, not rodents.
Right, because Bugzilla Pest Control. And that's why my tagline is we make mouse calls because people make that association.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's good to know because this is the time of year
Right.
where these rodents and stuff are coming in for the warmth, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, mice, rats, even including squirrels, they're 12 months a year. While they are more they're more attracted to coming inside the house as it gets colder and they pick up those air currents. But they're pretty much, if they've settled inside, they're there. They're like snowbirds. They don't go out for the winter, for the summer rather, come back. So.
And so you came, set up, because we couldn't figure out exactly where they were getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a camera, caught them on the camera. So now we know where they are. Then you install this trap that doesn't murder the things.
Right.
a lot of people. So for me, I would prefer them to be completely eviscerated, burnt
Right.
to a crisp. But but a lot of comments where I hope they had heart for these things and relocate them or whatever, which you did.
Right.
But a lot of people's comments were, I hope you didn't murder them. Which,
Well, that's what Steve performed the treatment, and he's my wildlife expert, and we talked about this. The state law mandates that if we don't take them off property, they have to be euthanized.
Oh.
And the reason being is there's rabies issues, and also squirrels they're very territorial. So if you take them off site, they basically get beat up on their way back, and you have to transport them at least 20 miles away. They have homing instincts. Now that doesn't mean every squirrel you let go 2 or 3 miles down the road is going to make its way back. Although Stephen, there was a point where, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on camera, but I was catching and releasing him for Stephen, and Stephen's like, no, they have to be, you take them away, or we have to euthanize because we have a CO2 chamber, and I just couldn't have the heart to do it.
yeah.
So I'd be letting them go like a couple miles down the road, and it was probably the same darn squirrel coming down.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Well, last year, I had a brand new truck, and I started getting these warning messages on my dash. That's strange. Like it was a CO2 thing. It was like a pressure thing in the for the fuel tank, and I thought it was a loose gas cap. I opened up the hood. It was completely impacted with leaves. Like you couldn't see the hood. They chewed through like the entire top of my engine.
Yeah.
It looked great.
It was wild. Within a month, and it was a brand new truck, and I lost the truck for 3 weeks. And they say that these rodents are attracted to the soy coatings in the wiring and vehicles.
Actually, in this case, it was more likely mice. I mean,
Okay.
it could be squirrels. But
Okay.
mostly Mike. I deal with that every couple months. We get a call. In fact, a woman had her Toyota Prius totaled because of mice. In fact, they were in the headliner, and it was just complete carnage. Because when they become very territorial in small spaces. So she got to win, and we won't go into the details.
Jesus.
But the soy-based wine, Toyota was sued for that. I think there was a class action suit. I don't remember exactly, but I remember our rodentologist. We were at a seminar, 8-hour seminar. We just talked about rodent behavior, and he said, in truth, the soy-based wire, there's some controversy over that because it's synthesized. In other words, it's a natural product, yes, but it's not necessarily attractive to the rodents because they no longer recognize. But what they are attracted to is the wire itself, because the wire represents stalks of vegetation, and they can girdle nutrients out of that. Their food, their moisture. So naturally, they have a lot to do with kinesthetic feel. Rodents are all about feel a lot of times. So their sense organs is like, oh, this is a stalk of vegetation. Let me start chewing. Doesn't mean they're automatically chew on wiring, but they're prone to it, and especially in cars because it's warm. They set up nests, and boy, they can do a lot of damage.
Well, last year I had the automatic starter, and before I'd get in the shower to go to work, I would start it so it'd be super warm. And I think that's what it was. I haven't done, even though it's freezing out, I don't start to do the automatic starter anymore. And Pat bought me some oil, peppermint oil.
Yeah.
And I put that around, and so far, so good.
It is a deterrent, but over time they become acclimated to it, and they will bypass that. But it's certainly a first measure in such a confined space too. It can the senses can be overwhelmed for the mice. So that's where it works better in spaces, confined spaces, as opposed to we perform services. We treat around the house, different products, but it has limited use. It's more of an integrated approach.
So would mice bring, like, it was a full trash barrel full of leaves?
Yeah.
They can lug leaves up into a bed?
In this case, it was probably something bigger. It's probably our friend the squirrel.
Yeah.
Might have been one of
One of that
pair. Maybe the same squirrel, right?
Squirrels, man. I'm saying,
But getting back to what we were talking about with the whole euthanization thing with squirrels, what we always try to do first and foremost is catch the squirrels, then secure the property where they're coming in, and then we can legally release them to the edge of the property. And then it just becomes a neighbor's problem.
No, we don't want that. No, but so someone told me 6 miles. You're saying 20 miles?
20 miles. I mean, that's the distance. At least that's what my tech told me, Stephen. He's a wildlife expert.
Wild. 20 miles.
Do you have like one town that you hate the most that you drop all the squirrels?
I mean, you could provide a service where relocation directly to someone's house.
Well, what we do sometimes, we take a catch release, we catch a mice in this cage accidentally. I'll bring it to our neighbor's house or something, and then just put my cart in the mailbox. That was something like the Three Stooges, wasn't it? No, there's no, don't do that. No. That's usually for people who haven't paid me too.
Oh yeah. We'll get to the bottom of that.
I had the bag of bed bugs. We just kind of put
Oh my
no,
God.
kidding.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Joey, that happened to Dad. We have a Toyota Avalon. This was years ago, and that happened in his engine too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And BJ's too. Yeah, it's our neighborhood.
Nice. It's on,
Bad,
yeah,
bad.
yeah. That
So-
was years ago, though.
But the best
And
bet
it was a
is
Toyota. So.
But the best bet is preventative treatments. What we do sometimes, I mean, I do often, is if there isn't an issue, I'll put what we call rodenticide bait stations. These boxes that contain rodenticide. Now, this is a touchy subject. It's probably a good time to bring it up too. There's a lot of talk about secondary poisoning with
Coyotes.
foxes, eagles, owls,
Yep.
and our other crows even.
Puffins.
Eating the animals that ate puppies.
No, is it puffins?
Oh, okay.
Inside joke.
joke.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
Puffins?
Yeah.
The animal eats the rodents. That's what's referred to secondary poisoning. So if the animal, the rat or mouse, consumes enough rodenticide, and that hawk, owl, eagle, we call them raptors, consume enough mice or rats, they potentially pick up the rodenticide. Now, there's a lot of talk about banning second generation anticoagulant rodenticides, which is the culprit. But what I always tell people too, because a lot of testing has been done on this, while it does and can happen, it's always about dosage. Okay, so if you're applying vast amounts of this, and a lot of times I hate to blame the homeowners, but it's homeowners and even farms where they over apply the product, or even the Department of Public Works when they're allowed to use such products, and too much is put out there. So now you're killing the animals in mass, and you provide that secondary poisoning risk goes higher. And that's a problem, because again, it's something I have to try to educate the public on. We don't.
I see a lot of it online, like the. I know that there's.
I didn't mean to digress here and switch.
No, not at all. This is fascinating.
But I think it's important because we're not denying that it isn't an issue, but it really, again, it's like
dosage.
It's a dosage. It's like saying let's ban mass matches because they cause fires.
Right.
I mean, that's just absurd.
Right.
You know, it's about proper application.
Yeah.
And you really, that's knowing what you're doing too. And also, there's other products we use other than second generation anticoagulants. There's a cholecalciferol based product, which is wonderful because the secondary poisoning characteristics are very low to slight under the worst of conditions, which I love. The problem is the primary poisoning characteristics are very high. So in other words, if an animal did get into the bait box or a non-target child or and these things never happen, by the way, we're always worried, but let's say they became exposed to this. There's no immediate antidote. In other words, right away, there has to be, service, a vet or a doctor to take care of that non-target. But again, everything's used it's poison.
Yeah.
It's basically we have a food source with poison in it. So you have to be careful. You have to think about those terms. In my texts, we're very careful about those things. We never misapply. We're always like, double checking and thinking, okay, is this proper? Is this appropriate? Aside from having to remediate the issue, we take responsibility.
There's a couple of mangy coyotes around in the neighborhood, and people, and I know that there's a couple wildlife. That woman Jody, or someone, I don't know, I could be wrong. Like is saying it's because of the pest. Rodenticide.
Yeah, you can't make that assessment. You can't.
I mean, how do they know
leap.
that? Yeah.
I had a situation. It was about 2 years ago. A customer. We've been treating her house every year for mice, and I use the cholecalciferol in her place because it is so heavily wooded. And we balance it out. We might use some second gen with the anticoagulant. It's a lot of prescriptive approach.
Yeah.
And there was an owl that she said she saw flopping on the road, and the pest control. Animal control officer came down and said, "Oh, that's because it ate rat poison." Well, first of all, owls, birds, they don't eat the poison directly. They're not attracted to that. But it may have eaten an animal. Now, it could have been a neighbor or something else that had fed rat poison out there, and the rat or squirrel got to it. But in all likelihood, we don't know.
Right.
We really don't know. I mean, they do die of natural causes. And then there's the bird flu out there, which is affecting a lot of eagles. and they're doing some tests on the eagles, and they're finding that they do have trace amounts of rodenticide in their system, but it's in parts per billion, not anything close that can affect them. But they are succumbing to the flu, the bird flu. Okay, so I think it's the avian flu. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. I remember we were just talking about that at a seminar. So you have to look at it in practical terms, and but you got to take responsibility too. And I think should they take rodenticide out of the public's hands? Well, that's something I don't want to necessarily. That's a sweeping statement, but people need to at least be educated when to its use. It's like using explosives. You have to know how to use it, right? I mean, demolition. I wouldn't.
Well,
wouldn't touch that, right?
so speaking of this, right? So in my personal experience, we had this issue. If I didn't call this particular problem, if I didn't call a professional like you, God knows what kind of havoc this squirrel could have. The pair of squirrels, and these squirrels were big. Do we have is the videos here, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Look, by the way, that was a great shot.
Oh, did you like that?
Yeah, I sent that to all of my colleagues. They were.
Pat's gonna put it up there.
That was
Is
classic.
it right here, Pat?
The culprits.
We had a vent, and the vent is supposed to be mounted on the side of the house, so the flap would close.
Mhm.
The vent was mounted on an eave, so the thing was dropped straight down, so they could easily just get right in. So now they're going to go in and do some kind of cross stitching or something, so that where that vent is with some wire, so that solves the problem.
Yeah,
I'm a dummy. If it was up to me, these things would have ended up living and dying and breeding in my house, because I don't have the ability to do this.
right.
But you have the savior, right
Well,
here. And literally, in both cases, those wasps, they were boring holes in my house, and they were,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
oh, was that the carpenter bee?
Yeah, the carpenter
bees. Yeah.
Yeah, bee wasp. Yeah. So you would know the
Put 'em
difference.
all
Yeah,
together.
put them all there. I don't know what the hell. That's what you're for.
Yeah.
You
right,
need to
right,
know.
right.
I don't need to know.
Well,
I need to make the phone call.
Well, carpenter bees unto themselves. We'll digress again here. They're amazing little critters. They're actually a bee, not a wasp, and they are a pollinator, believe it or not. The issue is they can do tremendous amount of damage on a structure over time. They set up, I call these carpenter bee condos. But one of the remedies is just staining and painting the wood. Taking care of the wood. But that's not, that's something that's not easily always accomplished, or you don't always have time for that. And once they do establish, they have been known. You can still have the burrows inside the burrows. You can still have the carpenter bee, and they can. So yeah, we just take care of them. But as far as a pollinator goes, they're not let's say a hive insect, and they're not. There's enough of them out there, and there's no danger of them becoming extinct, or there's no transfer effect with pesticides and things like that we worry about with the carpenter bee. They are a true wood-borne pest, though.
Tell me, what is the worst situation that you've got a phone call for?
Oh,
You got to tell you. I
that's
got
a great one. You mean one that we almost walked away from?
Yeah.
Typically, and people always ask me, what's the worst thing you deal with? And I said, it's never the pests. And we talk about this at seminars. People are the problem. It's it's the conducive conditions that create the issue. In other words, if you leave open a window, a bed bug doesn't come in. Bed bugs they're invasive species. They're hitchhikers. Same with the German cockroach. Mice and rats, well, yes, they are invasive in the sense where they do come in. But a lot of times it's situations, let's say homes with high density of objects, things of that nature, and they let the issue go on and on and on and on, whether it be ants, carpenter ants, bed bugs, cockroaches, mice, rats, and they say, oh, I just noticed them 3 months ago. And I mean, I'm seeing flying ants, the swarmers across the ceiling, right? And the roof's leaking and there's water stains and everything else. And I said, no, this didn't happen yesterday. So we can't necessarily wave our magic pesticide wand. And that's really the buttoning up process. That's the frosting on the cake. When we're performing a service, it's to identify, of course, what's the issue, what's the target pest, and then what are the conducive conditions? What are the conditions that create the issue or make it hospitable for this critter.
Mm.
And if we eliminate those or at least reduce that, then we can apply, use our application and control, because it's not about extermination. Although in the case of the squirrel, we are exterminating them off the structure. But it's about controlling the pests. And then moving forward, it's like, how can I help my customer? Look, we've got to create a situation where it's less hospitable for these critters. We can't always guarantee 100% you'll never see a critter again. But I always offer assurance guarantees. If we've done our job and you're doing your job, we're going to work with you. And we're going to make sure that this maintains control.
So do you recommend like a yearly service, like a plan for an individual house?
Yeah, that's generally what we do. When we start off, and our two biggest calls are, number one is carpenter ants mostly, and mice, and then rats. We also do tick control, things like that. So I take a very conservative approach where if we've done our job once a year for each service, usually takes care of the problem, assuming we don't have conducive conditions. But under some circumstances, we have to come maybe twice and even 3 times a year. And I never obligate, we have service agreements, but never obligate anybody to a contract per se.
Yeah.
Our performance is only good as what we do, right? So I don't want to make everyone, every time, someone comes, and typically the service is a tech comes out every 2 or 3 months and checks on things with their flashlight. They throw around a few sticky traps and say, okay, my work is done. And I've never been a big fan of that. I mean, observation, inspections are important, but I also know statistically in the classical sense that if we do our job, if you have a recurring issue, then we come back, we check on it. But that usually takes care of it. Yeah. And we're not dosing we're not dosing the property with pesticides and rodenticide. Where it's a prescriptive process. How much do we need? Right. And something's better than nothing. That's the way I always look at it. We have one application, let's say for carpenter ants a year, and it's very effective. The dose is very low. It's not hazardous to the environment. And if you need a second treatment, we'll come and assess that and look at that. So, hey, you got to fix that gutter. You got to fix that, the leak over there.
It's on the homeowner.
Right, it's on the homeowner. Yeah, and we recommend that up front. But then okay, let's do a second booster treatment, so to say. Yeah. And then just every year. And is it insurance? It is in a sense, because if you keep doing a recurring treatment every year, it doesn't have to be on that anniversary date, but it's maintenance. It's like change oil in your car or anything else, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Flossing.
So there you go. So the website is www.zilla911.com.
Zilla911.com.
Get that right?
Yeah.
So we put that up. You can click on that link and get more information. Contact Ivan. Thank you so much for coming, brother.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
I appreciate that was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was awesome.
My first podcast.
Well, there you go. Now you're also thank you for he reminded me. So we have a couple questions as a podcast version. Death row sub and death row meal. You have to picture yourself on death row. Mm-hmm. The warden comes in, says, tomorrow's your day. Yeah. And we're going to get you a sub from any sub shop in the world. Yeah. But it has to be a real place. Yeah. What's the sub and what's the order? And it can't be homemade. It has to be from a retail or shop.
Oh, wow. Downtown, Virgilio's.
Virgilio's,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Italian sub.
St. Joseph sandwich?
I've never had that. No.
Okay, so Italian sub from Bugzilla.
Yeah.
All right, death row meal. Restaurant? What restaurant and what's the order?
Okay, restaurant. Oh, it's Midori and is it Midori? No, I'm sorry.
In Beverly?
Gourmet Garden in Beverly.
Gourmet Garden. Okay.
Yes. Sushi.
That's really good sushi.
Isn't it good sushi? Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's really good sushi.
That's really good, right?
I wouldn't say it's my go-to, but it's very good.
Yeah, it is good. I like those. I like that room too. They have a nice room there.
Yeah.
They did a good build out.
The one on Enon Street, right?
Yeah.
That's by
Rev Kitchen.
Yeah, and that little plaza there.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't mean to diss Midori, by the way.
No, not at all. Not at all.
They're also good too.
They are good. We're lucky to have them. So there we go. There's that. Bugzilla, thanks for coming on.
Thanks again, guys.
All right, brother.
Take care.
Be well.
Day.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
And I can't recommend his services enough. I mean, saved us twice. Because my house would be gone right now. They would have taken it away because I would have let it go. The wood ants. We would have been standing around in a pile of sawdust.
All that would have been left was Steve Conti's windows.
Right. That's it. You managed to get it in there. Managed to get it in there. I love it.
I had visions that Bugzilla was coming in. The guy was going to come in like a spacesuit.
Yeah.
No, hazmat.
Yeah, and
and
coming in.
We have 1 million chipmunks in our yard in Magnolia. and I have no traces of anything in the house. But there are like so many holes all over our property from these chipmunks. It's like the rats of Nim, But so I get a little bit worried, but I didn't want to ask.
Let me get Bugzilla. We'll get him back in here.
No. I purposely did not ask the question, but I'm gonna have to do some chipmunk. Like, are chipmunks? Do they come inside? The way
Oh, yeah, they'll come
mice and
inside.
rats and squirrels do.
Chipmunks will come inside.
It was right here. Why didn't you?
Because we have other topics.
We could have asked.
No, it's all right.
We have our so every year we've been doing this for probably the last 4 or 5 years. In the beginning, just before the podcast, before the first Patriots game, we do our predictions on the Patriots record at season. And we're going to go over, because we have a bunch of the people that put in their predictions early in the year. So the actual record right now is 3-14. No,
3-11.
3-11. We're assuming 3 losses. Right now the record is 3-11 with 3 games to go, and these are the predictions. I said 5-12, which does not look good because so we should say the remaining 3 games they have to play Buffalo twice and the Chargers once, so it's probably going to be 3-14. But Nicole had 6-11. That they'd have to win out for that to be.
I've done the math. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
She's not gonna collect her.
I've done the math.
Donna 7-11, impossible. Jimmy was with me 5-12, does not look good. Mike Bertolino 6 wins.
So he's with me.
So he's with you. Would have to win. Paula Ryan O'Brien 6 wins. Not going to happen.
8 wins.
Phil Scannell possible 4-13. Very, very possible. Michael Rogers 7-11. He's out. Mike Aricio. Matt Aricio 3-14. Very. That's probably going to be him and Annie Rochon both had 3-14. Probably going to be your winners. Steve Conti 9-8. A very, very.
Thank God he does good with Windows.
Yeah, thank God he's got the window thing going. Carol Lupian 6 wins. Very highly unlikely. Pam Doughty 6-11, highly unlikely, and Nancy Knott 0-17 to round out the early year predictions.
On the Today Show, they said today, one of the newscasters that does the sports said the Patriots don't have a chance against Buffalo.
No.
No
Well,
chance.
the only thing that they could potentially have a chance would be, and I don't see this happening because the Buffalo seems like they're so locked in as if they count them sleeping. But I think you or Jimmy brought up that they play them the last game of the year, and they could be resting starters for the playoffs because Buffalo's clearly punched their tickets for the playoff.
And Super Bowl.
And the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying.
So this was a very interesting topic to me. Charles de Gaspé-Beaubien brought this up in this era of tipping culture. I want to hear what everybody else's thoughts are on this. A booster group ordered $1,000 worth of food for their event and tipped $20 for food prep and delivery. Really, that's 2% for employees that worked on your event. This is a community where we all help each other. Not cool in my mind. So from what I understand, this is the booster group ordered $1,000 of food and it was delivered. So they tipped $20 for the delivery. And I don't understand where the food prep part comes in here, because I feel like
like tipping when something's delivered. You're tipping the delivery
That's what
guy.
I
Delivery.
You're
said.
not tipping them to
$20
make
wasn't for the
your takeout
$1,000.
food.
It was
Right.
for the person who
I thought this
delivered
is
it.
very.
So I struggle with this too. Like, so we do a lot of like staff lunches and events for like 40, 50 people. So we'll call like Reb's Kitchen. We've done a bunch of times. Some taco places and whatnot. And I always, I'll go pick it up and I always leave a tip and it's on the school card. So I like kind of struggle with it. But if we order a staff meal for like 35 people and it comes to like $500, I'll usually throw $50 on the credit card when I pick it up.
Yeah, that $20 does seem a little bit light to me.
And it's also not $1,000. So
Sometimes when I was ordering food, I would pay like a tip already, like add that to the food. Now, if they're saying now I want it delivered, yeah, I would pay the guy like $25 or something for delivering it. But I would pay when I paid the 1,000, I make sure it included the people that prepped it.
I think where I'm going a little weird on this is the food prep part of it, not the delivery part of it, but the food prep. Like, if you're in the kitchen and a chef, that's your job. You're getting an hourly salary as a chef to do that work. So I don't understand why you're supposed to tip on top of that.
Yeah, if you sit down in a restaurant, you're not tipping the
If someone
chef,
comes
you're
here for
tipping the
if someone
waiter.
comes here for lobsters and they buy one lobster, I don't expect a tip for that. If they order $1,000 worth of lobsters, I don't expect a tip for that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand where that comes
I think
in.
like in this group, like from what I know of all of us, we all tip quite well when we go out.
Yeah.
So when we're struggling with something like that, you know that there's a challenge with it.
Yeah,
Because
like-
we're generous
Right.
tippers. We want to
That's
tip
right.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
So right, so,
So like
I'm picking up.
the guy that delivered, a delivery guy definitely deserves a tip. And I normally, if someone delivers, and maybe this sounds cheap or something, but if I order lunch, I tip $5 on delivery for lunch. Because if they're going across town, it takes them 5-10 minutes to get here. I figure $5 is okay, right? And maybe I'm wrong on that, but and in this case, they ordered $1,000 worth of food. So they're lugging a couple trips up to the stairs. So I figure that I actually think that $20 is okay for the delivery guy.
So go back to my scenario. I'm picking up. So I order from Red's Kitchen in Beverly. I drive over there. I grab all the food, put it in my car, bring it back, bring it upstairs to school. I do all that, but I still leave a tip because I feel like
It's not your money though. You're
doesn't
using
matter.
this.
Well, I know, but
It's
even
not
if
your
we're-
money though. It's the school's money. So yeah, well, fuck it. I'll put $50 on it. I look like a hero. So Wayne says most delivery charges go to a company, not drivers. So anything you give to drivers is what they get. Yeah. So I agree. Yeah. So $20 for a delivery, I think is. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why I really want to hear from the viewers if they think what do they think the appropriate move is on that.
Jimmy, what did the leper say to the prostitute?
I don't know.
Keep the tip.
Oh.
That is terrible.
Mom,
Terrible.
Mom,
Terrible.
write it down, Mom.
I don't get that.
No.
Can you use that
We'll
next
explain
Sunday,
it to you
Mom?
after.
Next Sunday,
Wait,
could
you
you
had
use
another
that?
joke. What was it?
No, because I don't know what it means.
Do it before
Oh,
communion.
just
Just
tattoos.
Do it before
The
communion.
tattoo.
I want to give a shout out to
That is a good one.
I want to give a shout out to Catherine Ryan, who has been has every year, I think it's in her 8th years or something, has done the holiday lights and Cocoa Drive's 2025 map for Good Morning Gloucester. It'll be her 9th year right now, 6th year with a Google map, and she usually spreads out a few posts each December, random in neighborhood batches. Goose Cove Lane is in the final post that she did this year.
The first post.
For the first post, and Pat has the link she's going to put up for this year's, and it's a really cool thing that she did, because if you use Google Maps, you can just follow along and see some of the. And I know we get a tremendous amount of comments from people that are super excited that their house was featured on this,
Yeah, nice.
because each one of her posts has got 40 or 50 different houses that. It's nice to recognize these people that are going above and beyond. We don't do a particularly great job at our house, but we are going to do next year. We're going to do what the Rogers did with those trees that are already pre-lit, the white ones that you just plug in for outside.
Chris had those at the cut on the
I
stage.
bought a bunch of those for the stage.
How much do they cost?
I got in packages of 3, a 3-foot, a 6-foot, and an 8-foot in a package, and I want to say they were about $100 for 3.
Oh, for 3.
Yeah.
That's not bad,
No,
because you can use them over and over.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they really at night in front of the Rogers house. They look beautiful. They really do look nice.
Yeah.
I haven't driven by, but they were at Mike's birthday party at the Hales house, and they were great.
The Beauport has a bunch of them too. They really are great.
Joey, for shout outs for a second, last week we had most people heard about it, the big fire that was over by the school, the O'Malley School. And it was a complex, and a big shout out to the fire company and the police. They really got it contained, got the people out, and kept the damage pretty minimal. I mean, we still have a family that's was displaced, but maybe 2 families or 3. But hey, shout out to get out there and do that. I mean, you know, you don't think of that a fire could really wipe things out that quick, and those guys really did a great job.
God
And
bless
I
the
just
fire.
want to go shout
One of
out to the guys.
I would not want to have to jump into a burning fire. So God, kudos to them. This right here. So here's the TV we got, but shout out to Jim Capillo. I was watching the Clemson one of the first games of the college National Football Championship playoff series, Clemson and Texas. And on the other part of the screen, this is my television, the new television we got. And look how great the picture is, quality from Jim Capillo's broadcast of the hockey, Cape Ann Live on YouTube. If you don't subscribe to Cape Ann Live, you really ought to, because they're doing a great job of the broadcast. We have been enjoying watching the games, and I don't know how they upped. I don't know if it's just the new television, but the broadcast that they're doing, the picture looks really, really clear. And Phil and Jim are doing a great
The
job.
picture looks better on the Gloucester hockey game than the national football game.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was because I paused it right here. But yeah, it's phenomenal, really great. And you can, I think they have like a Patreon set up that you can
I'm
donate to
looking
them.
for that right now.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you for that, Pat.
They're
What?
doing the basketball, boys and girls, and they're doing the hockey, boys and girls.
Shout out last night after I closed up the shop, I went to Machaca. If you haven't had Machaca's Mexican corn,
So good.
Mexican corn, not corn chowder, Mexican chowder, it is perfect for this time of year.
Really good.
Really good. So we had met someone on Facebook last week said, where should you go for chowder? And I mentioned my three favorite chowders are Fleur Cuisine, Chef Dan's at Castle Manor, and the Mexican corn chowder at Machaca. And what I didn't realize was that it wasn't a regular item on the menu. And I got a message from Joe from Machaca saying, we're putting it on tomorrow. So he put it back on the menu. And I think that Luis last night said it's going to become a part of their regular menu, because it was just on the
It's so
special
good,
menu
yeah.
before.
Put that up again for a second. Nicole. There we are. There we
I don't want to
slurping.
do.
So
I don't
we-
want to do what,
where's the
what
straw?
poor
We're
Donna
slurping it.
did, because then it will be the screenshot.
It would be the screenshot.
Yeah, so I'm not going
It
to do it. I'm just going to
It'd
look at it.
absolutely be the
I know
screenshot.
better.
She's no dummy.
I'm no fool.
Is that no?
I have a group that goes to Castle Manor every Wednesday morning for breakfast.
Are they
Now
still
they-
doing breakfast now?
They close
They-
for
oh,
the
they close for the
season.
season?
And we miss it.
So I was watching again on Facebook. I was watching some Jeff Thomas's son Max is one of the better wrestlers, and Daniel Hopkins' son, I forget his name, Aiden,
Yeah.
is one of the is a great wrestler for the Gloucester High School wrestling program. I'm watching the clips of them wrestle, and I reached out to Danielle. I says, "Can you get me the Gloucester High School wrestling schedule? I'd like to get a group of us to go on the 16th. Saugus is in Peabody versus Gloucester High School at Gloucester High School on the 16th. I think it'd be really fun for us all to go and watch these wrestlers, because I don't think the wrestling program gets enough recognition. And you want to talk about exciting? Have you seen any of these clips?
No, well, no, I've seen some that Daniela shared before, but no.
Pretty intense.
The Rumline crowd goes, to support.
Do they go?
obviously, Danielle. Yeah, they. Well, Fred goes. Fred was a big wrestler in high school, and a couple of the other regulars in there wrestled.
I had
Yeah,
no idea.
yeah. Fred gets super into it, and
Fred has an
obviously-
Olympic gold medal in wrestling.
Don't get me started. God bless Fred, the father of music in Gloucester. Invented music in Gloucester, by the way. So there's that. Another little topic here. I put so this morning at coffee, I was speaking to someone that said that Charlie's Place on Thursdays has a under $20 clam roll. And they said this clam roll is over, like the whole plate at Charlie's Plate is filled with clams, fried clams. So there's not many places nowadays that you can get fried clams for under $20.
At
No.
7 a.m.
It's,
Yeah.
so what did I do? I took a screenshot of I put an alarm in my phone right here for 7 a.m. on Thursday to remind me to go to Charlie's Place for their clam roll special. And so that I won't forget, because because the person that got it,
They have awesome clams.
I think it was Franco Shimataro, the electrician, told me it's off the charts. So I don't know. Anybody here a big fried clam person?
I love
I love
fried
fried
clams, so I probably have them maybe once a year.
Once a year, because
like 'em.
you can't eat them that well,
Yeah, I
because
can't
your
eat 'em.
stomach.
No, just because I just try to not eat too much fried food.
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't had them for a long time, because if I get a whole plate of them, I get really stomach aches.
Oh yeah.
But because my stomach has become, in the last 3 years, has become completely, I have issues all the time. I'm just fucking degrading at a rapid pace.
Next.
Jackie LaFlamme says it's an excellent clam roll.
Yeah.
So there's that. And Pat put up the link for Cape Ann Live, Jimmy Capillo's Cape Ann Live. If you'd like to donate, you can go to tinyurl.com/Cape Ann Live to donate to that effort. Which I can't believe that 1623 Studios doesn't broadcast the football games and the hockey games. I think it's sorry to say, I outrageous that they don't broadcast.
That's why I left.
I want to say something on the food front. So I had little friends holiday gathering on Friday night. So Jamie and I don't have a huge place, and we wanted to have a bunch of friends. So our friends Brian and Jessica said, "Oh, just do it at our house." So usually we'll have like some charcuterie board and stuff like that. But I wanted to do something a little bit more. I ordered food for this party from Tono,
Oh, really?
Tono Catering.
Wow.
And we got like a tray of bolognese for like 20, like garlic bread, a smaller tray of like just pasta and red sauce, a tray of 36 arancini.
Wow.
Like
You went
a
off.
ton of food, and it is so reasonable.
Really?
Like,
do you mind sharing?
yeah, I mean their menu is on their catering menus on their website, and you can order online. So yeah, I had a full-size Caesar salad, full tray Caesar salad, full-size bolognese, small bolognese, garlic bread, and all the arancinis, and 20 cannolis. Take a guess.
$500.
Good guess.
I'm going to say 400.
So you guys are close. Yeah, it was like, I want to say it was around 428 or something like that.
Wow.
I mean, but for
428
the
is
amount
very
of food to
reasonable.
feed 20 people,
Cannolis aren't cheap.
we fed 20 people and had a lot of leftover food.
Wow.
So as far as catering goes, like, that's a win. That's like, you always say a pro move. Like, people are like, you have Tono catering the party. Like,
Amazing.
great food. Good job.
Absolutely.
Everybody loved it.
Ma, hop in that seat, because Nicole's gonna.
Sorry, I have a brunch at 11 with all my
Your
besties.
hockey girls.
Yeah,
With
the hockey girls, and I have
Josie.
to go home.
Guacamole Martel
Yeah, you
score.
gotta go last night. You were so excited.
So we were watching.
Go
Kate,
G, go
Kate,
G.
Kate and I were watching, and
See you later.
Bye, guys.
what's his name?
Merry
Giacomo.
Christmas.
Giacomo
Happy New
Martel.
Year.
Giacomo Martel scores the goal for
Gloucester.
Josie Martel's son, and scores for Gloucester, the hockey, while we were watching. So I text Nicole. I says, and I thought I said Giacomo Martel scored, because I figured you'd be hanging out with her drinking somewhere, and
She was at the
it auto corrected to Guacamole Martel.
Guacamole Martel is going to Assumption D2 baseball.
Baseball, I
Yeah,
saw.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
congratulations. Nice
Nicole,
family.
Nicole, did you see Drew's last comment? I think the woman on the right bartends at the rum line.
Bordellos tonight, my favorite.
You know
We-
what I wanted to tell you? The other day I went to Joe's Baker because they had their annual Christmas party.
Yeah.
And there was supposed to be someone, I don't know who it was, supposed to come in to provide the music, who did not show up. So they called this group of kids from school.
Yeah.
Young group. The mother works for one of the doctors up at what's the place up on Pond Road, or not Pond Road, the other one. Anyway, her son. They were so good, and they announced at the end of their skit that they were going to be at the Cut Tuesday night to perform.
This Tuesday?
That's what.
Oh, wow.
That's what and
That's
they
Christmas
were so
Eve.
cute.
Yeah,
They were so cute. They said Tuesday night they'd be performing at the Cut.
that's cool.
Yeah, and they were so sweet. They were so cute.
Nice.
But I don't know who it was that didn't show up. So.
Well,
Gotta
Sure,
love a
no.
good Christmas.
gotta love a good
performance.
Christmas
Yeah,
story.
They were so sweet.
What was this one? Happy hour. We talked about. Oh, I took with that. Make sure we don't miss anything.
Prime Elise just commented, like, I totally forgot.
Tuna tartar.
Tuna tartar.
Tartar.
It was a full quart of tuna, and then they gave you all of the oil and the stuff, and you mix it yourself. Fantastic. Like, I can't say enough. I always talk about Toto being great.
Yeah.
I cannot say enough about getting catering from there.
Phil Scalen says it was off, kicked off the bus. Kids kicked off the bus.
Oh, kicked off the bus. Yeah, those guys are good.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. We got that going for us. What is this one right here? Do we already talk about that? Oh, we talked about that.
Pat's back. She could go through all this for you.
No, so we want to talk one more time. If you share the podcast and type shared, you have a chance to win the 2 of these placemats donated by Joe Higgins, and there's the other one. So that last call for that. We're gonna. How many shares do we have so far, Pat?
Right now I'm at 10.
10 shares, so you have a good chance of winning, and you can
Be
pick
at the
that up.
store
Well, Pat's going to be at the store from 11 to 3 today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
For your last minute gifts. I know she has some specials.
11 to 3 tonight.
Mhm.
One of the best presents you can buy, I think, is Pat's night lights.
Oh,
And if you
they're
don't have your
fabulous.
Christmas cards yet, she has awesome. I mean, $3.50 for a card or packs of cards.
Yeah.
How much is a pack of 10 cards?
Well, $3 a piece, so $30.
$30.
Or the postcards are 15 for 30.
Or 15 for 30, and that's a great gift for any Gloucester lover because there's a lot of Gloucester scenes in there.
I bought
And you can
many
pick. Wait, you can mix and match them, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
30 of you, and you can pick all Gloucester scenes.
I bought many of the night lights from her, gave them gifts, fabulous. I have them for my house, and I've also bought her cards that are phenomenal.
You're the best.
Well, because we always say, why would you buy Hallmark cards, generic Hallmark cards for $9? We could buy her cards for $3.50.
But hers are beautiful.
I know. We
Just
just
saying.
get the cards. What are we doing over here? What are we doing?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
If you don't know what I'm saying, say hi. Okay,
There you go.
that's an
Over
inside
there.
joke.
So there's that. While we're waiting for people to share the podcast and type shared for a chance to win that, I get to see my beautiful niece Camilla Gorilla in a couple of days. I'm so excited. Camilla Gorilla, if you are a casting director and you have not thought to cast Camilla Gorilla for a horror movie, you're out of your mind.
The Exorcist 4.
Yeah, all that. Want to do a little. I made these up. I wanted to just show off these. Hailstorm Crew and Damn Lucky Crew. Sorry, can't boat by. Little performance hoodies action right there.
Has Drew put it in order?
Yeah, they put it in order for a
Wow.
couple. So if you want to, if you have a boat and you want me to make these with the name of your boat with the crew on it, I can make them up for you. Just contact me. $35 a piece, low minimums, and that at that price you can hand them out to friends. I hope everybody has a great day and
Merry Christmas.
and a Merry Christmas.
Draw the
We're gonna draw the thing. We have 10 shares,
11.
11 shares. Okay, there you go. Got an get an updated video, please, of your niece. Oh yeah. So maybe during the during Christmas we can get an update from Camilla Gorilla. She's so cute.
How old is she now? Is that video's about a year old or so?
Is she like six
Oh.
now? Is she like six?
I don't know. You said 11, Pat?
11.
Okay, 11 shares done. Okay, reset right there. Close that out. So here we go. Number 6.
Number 6. Lynn Scannell.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
When was the last time they won anything? I can't remember that, and they always enter.
Yeah, they are almost always in it.
Oh, that's awesome! Come down to the shop today between 11 and 3 and pick up your presents from donated by Joe Higgins.
Thank you for the donuts. Pam.
Mom's out of here.
Mom's out. She's out with a warm
She's
hat.
a-
Ma, come over here so everybody can see your warm hat. You don't look ugly. You look fantastic. There you go.
But
you don't have
the
the.
hat.
Can you fix her brim?
What's wrong with my room?
You gotta. Fix that.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, fix the brim.
That better?
Joey wants to make sure you're repping the
Yeah,
brand
you gotta rep the brand.
appropriately.
Look how cute it looks on Ma. Look how cute it looks on Ma. Fantastic.
I'm your favorite model.
So there you go. Go see Pat today at the shop, because if you haven't got all your Christmas presents, I guarantee you she will have something that you will absolutely love. And we will go out.
Merry Christmas.
We'll
everybody.
go out
Merry
with
Christmas,
our
everybody.
girl from that does the country music.
Annie
Annie
Brooks.
Brobst. Annie Brobst. Bye, everybody.